forgery is the action of forging a copy or imitation of document, signature, banknote, or work of art. On 29 May, a forged check owned by Datuk Davidson and Son was collected, and Dr Chin Suk Fun presented the check to her lab assistants. The investigation on the handwriting and signature was performed by the order of the grand jury. It was observed that the amount of cash written on the check was found to be altered using different types of pen. Analyzation and research facts via physical observation and spectrometry was conducted in order to explain and analyze the causes and process that occurred based on the evidence gathered.
The presence of folk check bearing with a handwritten or typewritten was checked carefully by the crime scene investigators at the crime scene, and any documents that may related to the crimes were collected and preserved. When handling the investigations, the investigators must have known specimens to which they compare the material in the question document. The folk check collected were sent to the laboratory for further analysis, and I leave it to the Dr. Chin and her team for more information.
Hello, my name is Nur Syakinah, a forensic document examiner in charge in this forge check analysis that has been prepared by one of the jewellery companies. The three techniques of analysis involve the handwriting analysis, second is a video spectral comparator technique analysis, and lastly is Raman spectroscopic technique analysis. Firstly, I would like to discuss about the handwriting analysis. In the cases involving handwriting, samples are usually divided into two types. Firstly, it's requested writing specimen, and second is selected writing specimen. In this analysis, a total of 10 writing specimens from the purported author has been collected. Then, the physics analysis comparison then has been done thoroughly. The target question E to be examined was placed on the documents flattened under the canopy. The question document was viewed by a video camera, and a live image was shown on the computer connected. The target region of interest was placed right under the infrared and UV light from the PSC equipment. Raman spectroscopy is a scientific technique that directs a laser light of specific wavelength through a microscope onto the targeted ink on the question's document. 50 times objective lenses were employed to focus the laser beam spot on the sample. The targeted question inks were placed directly under the objective lenses, and the resulted Raman spectra showed it has been analyzed, and the result has been discussed further.
This is the result of the analysis. First, there were inconsistency of writing the capital letter M, where the original letter should be in round, upper moving arc rather than the garland form of M. The small letter of I also were detected to be insignificant with the original handwritten. The original letter I were with smudge like dot rather than a fine dots. Next is the difference between gel ink and ballpoint ink were able to be determined from the VSC analysis. This is where the gel ink glowed upon the infrared radiation, but the ballpoint ink doesn't. From this analysis, the amount of money allocated in the check were fogged from 1,000 ringgit Malaysia to 9,000 ringgit Malaysia, and signature of Datuk Davidson and Son were detected by this analysis. And there were also change in the recipient name, where Muhamat was added with ballpoint pen. Last but not least was the spectrum obtained from Muhammad Naim et al. 2016 in Raman spectroscopy analysis. This spectrum defines two different spectrums according to the type of ink used in a pen.
conclusion, the bank check obtained from Datuk Davison Anson was considered forged. There were 3 types of analysis conducted in this case, which were handwriting analysis, video spectral comparator VAC technique, and Raman spectroscopy technique. The analyst team found there were different in signatures and unique features from the handwriting of the suspect. Moreover, the result obtained from VAC analysis showed that there were different types of pen in the exhibits. There were 2 different inks on the forged check, which were gel ink pen and ballpoint pen. The team furthered the analysis of the check document by using RS technique. The spectra found from the analysis conclude that there were different ink used in the check. Hence, the brand of the pen were identified and clearly different from one to another. There were no irrelevant events or exhibits throughout the analysis. Thus, the case was considered clear and case closed.